Iran just revealed their plan to destroy the entire US economy. For some people, it might seem impossible because look at the United States and look at Iran. The United States GDP is almost 100 times larger than Iranian GDP. The United States has the global reserve currency, while Iran has a crippling economy. The United States military is the most powerful military humanity has ever seen. And look at the Iranian military. So there is no comparison between these two countries. The United States is at the top, while Iran is barely surviving. And yet, Iran has a nuclear strategy to win this war and crush the entire US economy. The crisis that Iran can cause is going to be way larger than the 2008 financial crisis. This is not me coming up with a hypothetical scenario, but this is a real crisis that is already looming behind the scenes, and in 3 to 6 months from now, it could actually explode, and you will see that instantly in your life. I call that Iran's nuclear strategy. It's not about dropping a nuclear bomb, it's a financial strategy. So all Iran is trying to do is to push the yields on the US treasuries to rise because that is how they can actually pressure the United States. The United States has a huge problem. It has a $40 trillion debt. And that debt is being refinanced every single day. That's why if you look at the US treasuries, they're like 1 month treasuries, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. So that debt is being refinanced. And as the yields on the US treasuries continue rising, ask yourself a question. What happens to the cost of servicing the debt? It keeps growing and growing and growing. And a single percentage can cost the United States at least $400 billion. So all Iran has to do is to make sure that oil prices keep rising. When oil prices rise, that creates inflations. So if you are loaning money to the US government, you always expect the US government to pay you a higher interest rate than the inflation rate, which means that if inflation rises by 1%, then the yields would rise by 1%. If inflation rises by 2%, then the yields rise by 2%. And that will cost the US government an additional $800 billion, which is almost as much as the United States is spending on the military annually. So Iran says that we will keep the Strait of Hormuz closed until oil prices will cross $200. You can actually make the math and understand what kind of inflation that is going to cause. Now, secondly, when there is inflation, the Federal Reserve has to increase interest rates. And when the Fed raises interest rates, then the yields on the US treasuries rise as well. Again, the cost of servicing the debt exponentially rises. And if this war continues long enough until the yields will double, that will be a complete catastrophe for the United States. Thirdly, it can actually destroy the petrodollar. So you have countries on the other side of the world called Japan that hold about $1.2 trillion of US treasuries. And they hold so much US treasuries because they can use that to buy oil from Middle Eastern countries. But now Iran has closed the Strait of Hormuz, which means that that oil that is being exclusively sold in US dollars cannot possibly hit the global markets. So Japan cannot use the US dollars to buy that oil, which means that why would Japan keep reinvesting in the US treasuries when these dollars cannot be used to buy oil because that oil is being trapped in Middle East? So Japan will simply start selling their US treasuries. And Japan is simply one example. You can now take the same analogy and apply it to South Korea and the rest of the US allies that use so much US treasuries to buy so much oil from Middle East. So you can see that the longer Iran keeps the Strait of Hormuz closed, the more it's going to pressure the United States, and the more the US government will have to offer in interest payments to make sure that it does not go bankrupt on that $40 trillion debt. And this problem is so severe that look at what Donald Trump is saying. Hopefully, China, France, Japan, and South Korea, and the UK, and others are affected by this artificial constraint will send ships to the area so that the Hormuz Strait will no longer be a threat by a nation that has been totally decapitated. So the United States is like, we don't have enough ships to protect the Strait of Hormuz, and we need more ships. So China, please send your ships. The UK, send your ships. But just a week ago or a couple of days ago, Trump is like, oh, we don't need anybody. We will easily win this war. Do you see how destructive this war is? That now Donald Trump is literally begging other nations to send ships to secure the Strait of Hormuz because Trump knows that it can cause a catastrophe on the US budget and the entire US economy. And if you think that this is the entire problem, then you're making a mistake because there is the second part of this strategy. Iran can cause a banking crisis in the United States that is going to be way worse than the 2008 financial crisis. Wait a second, what are you talking about? What are you smoking? How Iran, such a poor country, can cause a banking crisis in the United States? That doesn't make sense. Please stop talking. Well, let me explain how is that possible. Now, to understand Iran's financial strategy against the United States, you have to understand why Silicon Valley Bank failed. What? What Silicon Valley Bank has to do with Iran? Now, there was a bank called the Silicon Valley Bank that existed for about 40 to 50 years. It was a very successful bank. It was servicing a lot of startups in Silicon Valley, and it had like $300 to $400 billion worth of assets. And then, just like that, overnight, the bank failed. Why? Because in 2020 and 2021, interest rates were pretty much almost zero. And as a bank, you're required to take your depositors' money and buy a lot of US treasuries because you can only make loans according to how much assets you have. And US treasuries are considered the safest investments in the market. That's why you have to buy so much US treasuries. But in 2022, the Federal Reserve hikes interest rates from 0.5% to 5.5%. Now here's the question. What do you think happened to the value of all of these US treasuries that Silicon Valley purchased between 2020 and 2021? Their valuation instantly plummeted on paper. Why? Because now the new US treasuries that the US government is issuing, because remember, the US government is constantly refinancing the debt, they pay you 5.5% in interest rate. All the US treasuries Silicon Valley has purchased in 2020, 2021 are paying you 0.1 to 1% in interest rate. So they pay you way less interest than the new US treasuries, which means that their price has plummeted. So if the price of a single US treasury is $1,000, now the new price will be in the market, if you want to sell it, is going to be, let's say, $850 or $900. So even though that Silicon Valley Bank did not actually sell these investments, but rather all of these losses have been made on paper, theoretically, Silicon Valley Bank did not have enough assets to pay back to all of its depositors. Now, if you're keeping your money in a bank, and you're looking at the balance sheet and the financial statements of Silicon Valley Bank, you know that theoretically, if everybody now goes to the bank and withdraws their money, Silicon Valley Bank doesn't actually have enough money to pay everybody. That creates a panic shock. Everybody rushes to the bank to withdraw their money. So even though that it was a stable bank, they had about $300 billion worth of assets, it still failed. Now, that is what usually causes a banking shock and leads banks to crash. That is pretty much the main reason. It also happened in 2008. And now, here is what Iran is trying to do. Iran wants the US yields to keep rising because of inflation. So if the current 10-year yields are about 4.2% as we have seen, if they rise, for example, to 5%, what happens? All the US treasuries that the US banks are holding that they have purchased previously, they pay lower yields. And as the yields keeps rising, on paper, a lot of US banks will be making a lot of losses because they hold a lot of US treasuries. And their most valuable treasuries that they hold pay about 5 to 5.5% because they purchased them during 2022 and 2023 when interest rates were insanely high. So if Iran can actually keep the Strait of Hormuz closed enough that the yields on the US treasuries will rise to 5.5 or 6%, the US banks on paper will make a lot of losses, which means that theoretically, just like Silicon Valley Bank in 2022, will not be able to pay to all of its depositors, creating a banking shock, and these banks will be forced to sell these US treasuries to minimize the losses. But if all the banks, who are the largest holders of the US treasuries or the US debt, if they start dumping their US treasuries to save themselves, the yields will keep rising even farther and the price of their treasuries will keep falling down, and that will create a widespread panic across all the banks, and that will literally create a crash that will be way worse than the 2008 financial crisis. The 2008 financial crisis happened because this exact analogy happened with the mortgage-backed securities. These mortgage-backed securities were so toxic that the banks wanted to get rid of them to improve the health of their balance sheets and the financial statements. So they kept selling them until these mortgage-backed securities became absolutely worthless. And that is how Iran wants to crush the US economy. All they have to do is to keep that Strait of Hormuz closed for as long enough so that prices and the yields in the United States will rise so high that it will cross or it will cause such a huge financial catastrophe. And that's why if you're not financially literate, if you don't know how to operate in this economy, you will be the first person to lose, because the US government doesn't care. They know that they have you who is going to pay taxes and will save the US government. But you have to think about yourself. How are you going to save yourself? How are you going to invest? So if you want a step-by-step strategy on how to save yourself from this catastrophe, but most importantly, massively profit from this, all you have to do is just join the Investing Academy. There you will find out a step-by-step instruction. The link is going to be in the description of this video.